How can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? That's what Donald Trump's former best friend asked on his own platform, X, the former Twitter.
Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
Yeah, sure. If
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Why hasn't the Trump administration not made the files public yet? After all, America's first ever criminal president rode to power with the promise of unlocking the Epstein files. Even as groups like Republicans Against Trump and Republicans Against MAGA emerge on social media, a new claim has shifted the narrative surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein files.
5 yeas, 7 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to. And I think most of us believe what's appropriate will be released when it is time for the president to release it.
Some say it is because of the Mossad. Leading the pack is Tucker Carlson himself, controversial podcaster, conservative commentator, and one of the most influential supporters of Trumpism. The Donald Trump brand of, well, whatever. The story theory begins in Florida, as do many conspiracies. Speaking at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit, Tucker Carlson raised pointed questions about the Epstein files. Carlson's comments did not go down well with the former Israeli Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, who took to Twitter to call out the American conservative. Tucker Carlson replied to the ex-head of state, asking him not to issue threats, all because Bennett said he would not take it anymore. But in true Tucker Carlson style, he also asked for an interview in the same tweet. Even as the Trump administration is reportedly fighting among itself the fallout of Jeffrey Epstein, his death, the classified files, and the political chaos since has been immense.
The fallout is continuing over the Justice Department's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. We're aware of a significant and tense exchange at the White House last week between FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino and Attorney General Pam Bondi. This all centers on a decision that the Justice Department made last week to not release any additional records or details from the Epstein investigation. This was a surprise to elements of Donald Trump's base who have been under the expectation there was going to be significant new information that was going to be surfacing. And now we're seeing a lot of turmoil within the ranks of the FBI and Justice Department leadership. We did hear President Donald Trump weigh in himself last night.
Dan Bongino, very good guy. I've known him a long time. I've done his show many, many times. And he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
He also has really thrown his support behind Pam Bondi during this conflict and has basically told his base and his supporters to rally behind her. Jeffrey Epstein is back in the news. The Justice Department has spent months reviewing evidence from the sex trafficking investigation into the wealthy financier to prepare materials for public release. One aspect of the evidence that the Attorney General Pam Bondi has cited is the existence of what she says are tens of thousands of recordings that she says show Epstein with children or child pornography. At AP, we've been very interested in those remarks and trying to understand what it was that the Attorney General was talking about. We reviewed hundreds of documents from the criminal case that did not identify any kind of reference to sexually suggestive recordings of Epstein with children. We also interviewed people who are law enforcement officials and lawyers in the criminal case, and they told us they had not seen and were not familiar with the existence of a stash of recordings like the ones that Pam Bondi might be referencing. We did find in a civil case a reference to the discovery of video recorded materials and photographs that the Epstein estate said might constitute child sex abuse material. But when we approached the Justice Department for clarity and help in understanding what the Attorney General said, they declined to answer any specific questions about how long these recordings, if they exist, have been known to be in the government's possession. And instead they said that the only people who really know about what's in the Epstein files are the people who are actually doing the work in the government themselves. It's worth noting that all this scrutiny comes against the backdrop of an earlier Epstein document dump from February that Bondi hyped as, delivering substantive and compelling new information, but that really fell flat and failed to satisfy conspiracy theorists and far-right influencers who have been hoping for months and years to find proof of a government cover-up in the Epstein case.
Will Jeffrey Epstein end up being a dead man who takes down not one, but two American governments? Remember, Trump and the MAGA Republicans had hounded the previous Biden government over the Epstein files. Now it seems the shoe is on the other foot